This is a story of two young lovers, Tom Ferris, son of a poor sheep farmer, and Agnes Richardson, daughter of a wealthy Glaisdale landowner, who were prevented from marrying because of Tom's poverty. Leaving to seek his fortune at sea, Tom tried in vain to cross the flooded river to meet Agnes on the eve of his departure. He left without a farewell kiss. Having survived sea battles against the Spanish Armada, Tom became involved in piracy in the West Indies. He returned to England a wealthy man and married his beloved Agnes, and had this bridge built to prevent future young lovers from being parted by the river. Beggar's Bridge is a survivor from a time when horsepower and walking were the main modes of transport. If you explore the River Esk, you will find other gracefully arched bridges, but this one is special. Beggar's Bridge or Lover's Bridge is a place of legend. Beggar's Bridge, unlike any other bridge of the Esk, is a unique packhorse bridge. It was designed with low parapets, allowing a horse with fully laden panniers to cross without touching the sides. It is classed as a Grade 2 listed building, meaning it is of national historic importance. For those who are wondering, Tom Ferris actually did exist. He sailed from Whitby in 1588 and served in Sir Francis Drake's navy, and returned to England 4 years later on a captured ship, which he sold, which gained him his fortune. He then married his Agnes and established a shipping business in Hull, where he became sheriff in 1614 and mayor in 1620. Here we bring you the story of what we know. Hope you enjoy. Here we have the story of Beggar's Bridge. A true story made famous by Tom Ferris, whose beloved was Agnes Richardson. This is a story we are now going to tell you.
So the legend goes that Tom was a son of a poor sheep farmer, but fell in love with a wealthy landowner's daughter, Agnes Richardson.
So the couple wanted to marry, but Mr. Richardson would not let Agnes marry Tom Ferris. He actually called Tom Ferris a beggar because he came from a poor family. So because of this, Tom vowed to go abroad and make his fortune and return as a rich man so he could then marry Agnes Richardson.
So the night before he was due to depart, the River Esk burst its banks, flooding this area, and there was no way that Tom could cross the river in order to give Agnes a farewell kiss goodbye.
So in 1558, Tom Ferris set sail from Whitby to serve with Sir Francis Drake's navy, and as you know, he fought the Spanish Armada. He was away at sea for 4 years, and then he returned to his beloved Agnes Richardson. So as stated, Tom had returned 4 years after he'd sailed with Sir Francis Drake to defeat the Spanish Armada. He also returned with different ships, didn't he?
Yes, he'd acquired ships in his adventures. Some may call it piracy.
Definitely, yes.
But the laws back then were totally different to what they are now with regards to...
it was known as spoils of war, wasn't it?
Spoils of war, yes.
Mm-hmm. And he sold those ships, which gained him his wealth. He then came back to see Agnes's father, and obviously Agnes's father learnt about the wealth and agreed to let Tom marry Agnes.
That's right. And this is where the love story is more or less complete. As you know, Tom once set out to say his goodbyes before he set sail to sea, but unfortunately he couldn't get across the river to say his final farewells before he returned. And because of that, upon returning, and just before the death of Agnes,
I'm sure you think she's Scottish.
then this bridge was finally built as a monument, and
the bridge was actually built in 1619. Now it's said that Agnes died and passed away in 1618, and Tom was broken-hearted, but built this bridge as a memorial to Agnes. Now I don't know whether this is fact, but it's more people say that it is fact than you know, a made-up tale.
Than fiction, yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason being is it was built on the basis that no one should ever be without their lovers and the possibilities and abilities to make that contact. And this is kind of symbolic to the start of the story. Tom set out to say his goodbyes. He couldn't get across the River Esk, and obviously that must have been playing on his mind. And after losing the love of his life, he thought, right, no one should ever have to go through that scenario, which he did many years before.
Absolutely, yeah. So on top of this bridge there is a stone, and I'll cut to a picture of that now, and Tom Ferris's signature initials are in this.
That's
and
right.
The date that it was built, which was 1619. So if you like these kind of videos, please consider liking and subscribing, because we do enjoy having you along, and we do like interacting with them, don't we?
We do. We always read your comments. We always try and input or take away from what you say in some of the comments.
Yes, we do.
Because we're not experts at what we're doing.
No, we're not.
We just read up on it, and then we come to the location and we like to show you what we've come across. Some of yous may be more, what's the word, knowledgeable about the locations we're at, and your input is really valuable to us as well.
So from me, Paul and Neil, we're going to say goodbye, and what we will do is leave you some footage, drone footage of Glaisdale Railway,
Yes.
and Gotham, because that's where we're actually going to now, and we'll put that in after this.
Yep. For all you railway people who like the old
Well, the old railways, the old history, the old steam trains and things like that.
yeah, we'll bring you some of them railway shots of the old railway stations from yesteryear, starting with Glaisdale, Gothland, which is happy country, and a lot of people like that kind of thing. The old TV show.
The old steam trains and stuff like that, because we are going to be doing a video on that at some point, but we will include some footage on this. So from me, Paul and Neil, bye for now.
Take care, guys. It was shut.